In today's video, I am going to be breaking down Scoot Henderson and Victor Wembanyama and which player is actually better. These are two players who are going to go most likely number 1 and number 2 in this year's NBA draft, and they play totally different positions, which makes it really hard to really say who's going to be actually better, because it's also going to come down to the team that picks them too. So let's get down. Let's check out these two amazing players. If you want to be able to shoot the basketball better, make sure to go check out my hardest basketball shooting workout down in the description below, because that's going to help you shoot the basketball from further away. Okay, so really quickly, he understands how to use a screen. In this play, his defender goes underneath that screen. Now, technically, he should have went up for a shot. He did not pull for that shot fast enough. Yes, he's going up against Victor Wembanyama, which makes sense because now that's a massive, 8-foot wingspan. It's really hard to try to get a shot over top of Victor. So, he doesn't take that shot. He waits until his main defender gets back onto him, and then he's able to do a quick little crossover and attacks the basket. He's able to score on Victor in this case. How he was able to score on Victor here is because now he's using the rim and his body as a defender against Victor Wembanyama from being able to block his layup. Now here he attacks the basket with only 2 dribbles. You want to try and keep your dribbles when you're attacking within the 3-point line to 2 or less. Ideally, just 1. And then he's able to do a quick gather above his head. This is important. If he was to bring that ball across his waist, this man right here would have stolen that ball. And then going up with 2 hands strong at first while he gets slightly hit, and then finishing with 1 is what's allowing him to be able to score very easily in and around the basket. He's also very good at off-ball movements. Here he sets that pin down screen, that curls back in, and then he's able to pop back out using his big man as a screen. Now, his defender went over top of the screen, which means that his defender is behind him on his back. This means that he needs to attack the basket, or in this case, they called the switch. Now he's going up against Victor, and how he's able to create the distance away from that 8-foot wingspan is that quick step back that he was able to do. This quick hesitation gets Victor to take that step back onto his heels. I can almost guarantee that he was watching Victor's entire body to wait until he's seen Victor get onto his heels, so that now at this point, he was able to take that quick cross jab towards Victor one more time to get him onto his heels, and that allowed him to do that quick step back. Now, no, this is not a travel. Why this is not a travel is because he did not pick up that ball until he was on his right foot. He still had a live dribble up until that point. Now he's allowed to take 2 steps. 1, 2. He landed on his left foot first and then right foot second, which allowed his right side to get in line so that he could shoot that ball much faster and much more accurately. Now, Scoot Henderson here is very smart. So many players, they'll be on a fast break and they'll try and attack these 2 or even 3 players. In this case, it's 3 players. They'll try to attack those 3 players. They will collapse in on him and he will lose the ball. He'll get stripped. He pulls out. He has patience. Patience is key in basketball, especially if you're a guard. He pulls back out and he waits for the trailing player to cut down the middle. He clears out towards the wing or mid-post and waits for a teammate who then is able to receive that pass from Scoot Henderson and go for the dunk. Scoot Henderson is also very good at reading his defenders. As we can see here, his defender is not really playing defense. He's playing straight up, basically standing there. Scoot Henderson is able to do a quick jab towards his right side, which gets his defender to move towards that right side, thinking that Scoot was going to be showing or popping up. Well, he cuts back door, and then he's able to then go up for the slam dunk. So if your coach or whoever says that you need to move off ball, you need to cut off ball, this is a fantastic tip. If you're watching your defender and they're just standing there, you do a quick fake jab towards one way and cut back the other way, that is going to lose them almost every single time, and he doesn't even take a dribble once he receives that ball. He's cutting, he catches it, and he goes straight up with 2 steps and goes for the dunk. Anytime that there's any kind of a screen or dribble handoff or whatever, if you can get your hand in there, if they have the ball at their waist, as we see right here, get your hand in there. You don't need to grab it. You just need to poke it free. At that point, you go after that ball and here he's able to finish with the slam. Now, in my opinion, Victor takes a lot of dribbles when he's in the post, and if he's taking all of these dribbles, most likely in the NBA, he's going to have secondary and maybe even third defenders dropping off to try and defend that, to try to steal that ball, because he's very good at being able to shoot over top and around players, as we see right here. However, this can actually come to his advantage. These like 4, 5, 6 dribbles in the post. We've seen that this year with Nikola Jokic. Now, if he can start passing out of the post when these secondary defenders drop off on him, then he could be very successful in the assist column in the NBA. He's going to be very hard to try and guard. We can really see that in clips like this, because now let's say you say, okay, I don't want to drop off a secondary defender. He's even more slippery than Nikola Jokic is, and he's bigger. He's also got these really good, really amazing handles. The ability to keep that ball high also is very hard to try and block. Just picture this. He takes one dribble, spins off. Now, if he can keep that ball high and he gets it up there quickly, now when he's attacking that rim, there's not many players who are going to be able to block this. What's going to have to happen is these players are going to have to read the spin move first, cut him off with their bigger, stronger bodies, but that's only going to last maybe a few years until he starts putting on some bulk and some muscle to be able to battle the NBA players. And until that point, he's going to be able to get shots like this off at the NBA level. Because this is a foul at the NBA level as well. Just like it is here, it's a foul in the NBA. And guess what? They're going to have to hack his arms right off to be able to get these shots missing. And he's also able to shoot these three-point shots too, and that's NBA range. The only thing that you're going to see different in the NBA is the height differential. The height differential, there's going to be much more players who are his height who can then battle him in the post. However, if he's getting guarded and defended by another guard or even a forward, I think he's going to be slippery enough to be able to get to the rim at will. And anytime that he gets past his number one defender, he takes only a few dribbles, and look how far away he's able to take off from and still make that dunk. So what's going to basically happen in the NBA draft is the fact that Scoot Henderson's probably going to go number 2, and we're going to see Victor Wembanyama go number 1. Now, if Victor Wembanyama doesn't get picked number 1, pretty much the entire world is going to be yelling at San Antonio saying that you made a massive mistake. So they're almost forced to pick Victor Wembanyama. The issues with Victor Wembanyama is, of course, his actual physical size, like his muscle size, but that's going to be easily fixed over maybe 1, 2, or even 3 years at the NBA level. Which then gets to my next point, if he lasts that long. What we've seen with tall players, Yao Ming and many others, is the fact that they just don't last. They get a lot of injuries, a lot of foot injuries. And when that happens, that shortens their career. While somebody like a Scoot Henderson is a guard, he's not as tall. He's not 7'5", and that will potentially save him from some major injuries, even though that's never guaranteed, as we've seen with players like with Rose. So what I'm trying to get to is the fact that you never know the future when it comes to injuries. You cannot predict the future when it comes to injuries. So you have to keep that out of the conversation, unlike so many other people are not doing. You also have to keep the conversation of his strength being an issue, because that's not going to be an issue in 2 or 3 years. You're not expected to be a crazy 40-point per game player in your first year in the NBA. The first year is your development year. The year where they can see where your potential could potentially take you. So, yes, in my opinion, Victor Wembanyama is a number 1 pick. Scoot Henderson is a definite number 2 pick. Both of these guys play as men, and that's exactly what you need at the NBA level. I hope that you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.